Take 3.
This is the Tazed Logic.
Hello, everyone.
Fucking Christ. Why don't you do this? Why don't you moderate us?
Yeah, because he's better than all of us, yeah.
Here.
Okay.
There you go. You're moderating.
Jerk off.
Hello, everyone. This is the Tazed Logic very first episode of our podcast. And my name is Rob Graydon. And with me today are the other two members of Tazed Logic, my son, Josh Graydon.
Hello. How's it going?
And my other son, Jacob Graydon.
Hola.
Basically, our podcasts are film-based. We're going to be doing a lot of film projects, and we're going to be talking about a lot of film projects. We're going to be interviewing a lot of people, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. We want you to be along with us. And, we have a few things coming up that we'd like to talk about. Some videos, some podcasts, and basically who we are. We're a family. We're a family of artists. We're a family of filmmakers, and that's it. I mean, we don't really see a lot of families who do filmmaking and art all together as a family. So we'll talk about those things. Josh, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I recently just wrapped a feature that Jacob starred in, and that was its own journey that if you follow us on Instagram and YouTube, we will be posting and updating about. We'll be talking about that here.
And what is the name of this wonderful independent film that you directed?
The movie is titled Charlene, and we will be, in a future episode, we'll have the cast and everybody on to talk a little bit about it.
Great. And Jake, and you are in the film, correct?
Yes, I am in the film.
And who do you play? Who do you play?
I play a character named Roger. I don't know how much I can talk about the movie
He's
or
the
role.
antagonist of the film.
All right, so I play the antagonist of the film.
And he wears a tutu throughout the
I wear a tutu throughout the
I'm kidding. I am joking.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I had never really acted in a feature before. I've done a lot of shorts, but it was wildly different, and I was very honored to be brought onto the project.
Right, so that'll be one of our future podcasts. We'll be talking to the cast and crew of Charlene about the making of it. The interesting thing about Charlene is that they made it for virtually no money, and when I say virtually no money, I mean virtually no money.
We literally spent, the only money we spent was on pizza. That was like it.
so if the and I know a lot of people out there who are new filmmakers or filmmakers who don't have money to make films, but hopefully this story will inspire you to go out and make your own films. Because they didn't have money to make films. We shot with a G7, a Lumix G7, and a bunch of cinema lenses that we purchased. So
and all of the gear wasn't.
All the gear. I bought all the gear for various things, but they used it to shoot.
And it was acquired over a few years, so it wasn't like we dropped big money, right? It was increments over years,
right? But they went out and they shot a film in 4K. For no money. So I think that's one of we're going to probably have a couple of podcast episodes talking about how to get away with, shooting a film for no money.
Do you want to start off? I have a topic that we can bring up that it's kind of related. So Jake is getting ready to direct his first feature, and he's
short, not feature.
Sorry,
short.
not first feature.
My first short.
His first short.
Let's say, is this something I don't know about?
He's gearing up to write his first
Did you
short.
see Jacob's face when he almost S'd himself?
I was so... Oh, God. Okay.
No, so he's gearing up to do his first short, and he's been couldn't been going about it any better way. He's getting the best advice from everybody. He's trying to go to everybody. Saw this quote of David Fincher's, right? You don't know what directing is until the sun is setting and you've got to get 5 shots and you're only going to get 2. I think, Dad, you and I should talk a little bit about what moment was that for you when you felt like you became a director. It could be a different moment than that, or maybe one where you had to make a similar decision like that.
That's a good question. There was a short film that I made called La Soledad. It was called La Soledad, and that was about almost 10 years ago. And I had been directing things before that, but I think that was the first time I directed something that was a short narrative independent film. Because before that, I was doing music videos, I was doing documentaries, I was doing a lot of music industry videos as well, and other things like that. But when I started doing La Soledad, it was a big challenge for me because one, I don't speak a word of Spanish, and 40% of the film is in Spanish. But there was things just like that we planned out all these shots and all this grand time and all this these moments, and we really spent so much time problem solving, which basically filmmaking is giant, just nothing but problem solving, and we um, spent a lot of time condensing shots and losing shots and having to give up shots that I thought, oh, this is going to be just such a beautiful shot, but we just had no time. And when you are working with a large enough crew, because we had a crew of about 20 people on the set, not including the cast, so it was like another 8 people for the cast. Um, that's a decent sized crew. But with with that many people, time is money, and so you don't have a lot of time to be messing around and screwing around, and so we ended up really having to consolidate a lot of shots, and for me that's when I started feeling like, okay, I understand now when I go back and read all the old Starlog magazines and all the old film entertainment magazines about all these directors saying, oh, how I had to cut these shots out, cut those shots out. I was always like, well, why? Why don't you just shoot them? Now I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. You realize there are tens of people breathing down your throat. And depending on who you are, there could be 1,000 people breathing down your throat. And waiting for you to come up with a solution. So I would say for me, I felt like a director when I made that film.
When you made that film. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think for myself, shooting Charlene, that was happening almost every day. We had a script. We had worked on the script for 3 years. And I think 4 or 5 days in, we almost completely threw the script out the window. I mean, every day we were rewriting scenes. We were rewriting shots.
Right.
We shot 20 days over the course of 4 months. And I think after the first 2 weeks of filming, we had 2 actors drop out. And they were pretty consequential actors. And they were not big roles, but not big in terms of time, but big in terms of we weaved this tight story together. And we had to figure out, can we make the rest of the film work with who we have left? Can we make
yeah, because I mean, when you write a no budget feature film,
yeah,
every part of it is meager,
Absolutely.
And so when
we already by the time
now you have 2 people dropping out, where do you go from there?
Yeah, by the time we started shooting, we had already 2 weeks before we started shooting, I rewrote the entire script because I knew we weren't going to be handed $1 million or anything like that. So I knew we had to work with what we had. So I went over. I grabbed all the resources. My friend, she has a big house. Her dad owns a real estate company. We were able to use both of those for a majority of the shooting. And so that was incredible. But so we worked around our budget, and I think I'm going to circle back to my point. After having 2 actors drop out, we then recast one of them and were able to write around the other role. And there was one day we were shooting the finale of the scene, the biggest scene in the movie. It had all of the actors, all the special effects. This was the one scene that really had to go well. Like this wasn't one where we could skimp on it. It was a big scene. And we had boarded it out. We had written it out. And 2 hours beforehand, it looked like 2 actors weren't going to show up. And, you know, we couldn't shoot this on another day. It had to be done on this day because, you know, certain actors had different commitments and school and you know, when you're not paying people, I was trying to be respectful of everybody's time and schedule. So we had to get this scene done on this day. So we had to get this scene done. Looked like we weren't going to get it. And so we started shooting it because even though we weren't certain whether we were going to, we just had to go with the plan that they were going to show up. One of the actors ended up showing up and, you know, we shot the whole scene and we then heard from the second actor and that actor was going to be there, but 2 of the other actors had to be gone by the time this guy would have shown up. So we then had to figure out how we were going to block everything and shoot everything so that we could get the coverage we needed and that it would edit together in a coherent way. And we did it, and it went off, but everybody really banded together, and we took our time and we figured out, you know, what were we going to do if they didn't show up? Could we continue this if they didn't show up? And there were a lot of scenes like that because one of the actors who dropped out, I'm going to go into a bit of a spoiler. The main character has a bruise on her face throughout most of the movie. And we had shot the scenes beforehand where she didn't have the bruise and the scenes after where she did have a bruise. And we had to figure out once this actor dropped out. Well, the character that this actor played was the one who gave her the bruise. And the only actor who was available was someone who was relatively an ally of this main character who had the bruise. And so we had to figure out on the spot, how were we going to get this character to hit this other character, to hurt this other character, when they had a relatively good relationship, a nonviolent relationship. And it was interesting, we're trying to think of how do we do this without breaking either character, without making one of them have one of them make a decision that was out of character, and figuring that all out definitely was that David Fincher quote, that was when I felt like a filmmaker.
Right. Great. Awesome. And Charlene, I can't wait to get into further episodes because I really want to delve into the real making of it, because again, people are going to really want to know how it's from beginning to end, how it started. And you're still in the middle of it, and you just wrapped shooting.
Yeah, we just wrapped shooting.
So
put together assembly cut.
So you have an assembly cut together. So and you had a meeting tonight about the music.
Yes.
So I want people to really go on this journey with you and with us on other projects. We shot a project last year called Father, and it was basically a 1-minute short. We were trying to challenge ourselves. Could we tell a coherent story in 1 minute? It was initially for a film competition. We didn't win or come into any close to it the first time. But we then submitted to other film festivals and it got recognition, and it won the Long Island International Film Expo's Best Long Island Film. And we beat out another short film who had Sean Young in it. Our film didn't have any name actors, but excellent actors nonetheless. It beat out a documentary on Long Island. It beat out a feature film on Long Island. So, I just wanted to say that because, you never know if you can make a strong enough, powerful enough story. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half. We did it in 1 minute. We had no intention of doing anything, any more of these. But after it was over, after we screened it, everybody kept coming up to us going, well, what happens next? What happens next? And we were just like, you know what, we're going to decided to start making a series, a little web series of Father, which is going to be about, 6 to 8 episodes. And they'll all be 1 minute long, and we're going to tell a big story only 1 minute at a time, which will be a big challenge in itself. So we are going to be shooting episodes 2 and 3, in the upcoming weeks, and we'll talk about that too. We'll have a podcast on how that comes, how we're doing that. Maybe we'll do a little live pod from where we where we're shooting that day, if we have the time to do it.
It's a little frustrating to me as the producer because you and Jake know everything, and you guys aren't telling me anything.
No,
You're
we
keeping
don't.
it super secret.
The only people who know what goes on in Father are myself and my son Jacob, because Jacob plays the son who is looking for his father.
Yeah. Each time we go to shoot an episode, I get a script, and I'm like, you guys knew about this for months, and you didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, even and Jim Haynes, who is also in Charlene, but is also in Father. I don't think he knows. He doesn't really know anything either. Nope. So we're just keeping things.
Just to clarify, he is the father.
He is the father.
He's the father in Father.
Yeah. And then another project we're coming up soon to shoot is a film called Wishing Bone. Is it correct?
Yes, that's the movie we talked about earlier.
That's it's going to be directed by first-time director Jacob Graydon, who is here with us. He is our actor, but he is also now going to be the director. So tell us a little bit about Wishing Bone.
So I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm really nervous to talk about it. I've never really talked about it a lot. But essentially the idea came to me about I'd say a year and a half ago, and I kept waiting for like Josh and my dad to be done with their movie so they could direct it, and because I had no directing experience, I barely had acting experience when I thought of the movie, and I kept waiting for directors just around me to be available, and one day I woke up and realized that people around me are just busy, and people around me aren't just going to be available whenever I want them. So I decided to take it upon myself to direct it, and I'm very nervous to do that. I don't know a lot about directing. Obviously I'm researching a ton about it. I'm not going to talk too much about the story about it. Just because we may get into that in future podcasts when I actually start making the film. Essentially, all right, I'll just say this about it. Essentially, I feel like I can't speak. I'm sorry. Essentially,
this is a first, by the way, because we normally can't shut him up.
I know that's how I'm super just a little nervous. All right, just to sort of wrap this up. It is about a monster who encounters a little girl in the middle of the woods, and I'm not gonna go too much more into that. It will be about the encounter of a small child and a monster, and sort of just this small story that involves the two, because there's there's not a lot to it, but that's I'm gonna just give that basic premise without getting too much into it. So it's my first time directing. I'm very excited to do it because I have so many ideas for the future and future things I want to direct, that I'm excited to just start on one of them.
Can I say the impressive thing about that movie?
Sure.
I think is pretty amazing. I'll bleep this if you don't want me to say it.
No, I don't.
It's not only his first time directing, he's also starring a child actor.
Yes,
Yeah,
which is its own difficult thing, and he's absolutely going the right way about it. Finding, I think that's going to be a challenge, but I think you've done a good job in casting. And I think it'll be pretty interesting.
I will say, and it's why I've had this
We're all
idea.
coughing today.
I know. You guys are coughing. I'm tripping over my words, being nervous.
Sorry.
A big inspiration for this is my favorite director of all time is Steven Spielberg, and the idea came to me watching E.T. because that that involved like children and monsters, not a monster but an alien. And I just wanted to make a film like that, and I know I'm gonna be paraphrasing him because I won't get the quote exactly right, but Steven Spielberg said that when you casting a child actor, look for their eyes, I believe is what he said. I don't know if I'm.
Well, I know he said that you write for a very specific kid.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you find that kid.
Yes, that was yes, that was the other part of that. So I've been searching long and hard, and I believe I have found my little actress who will act opposite a giant puppeted monster. So that's all I'm really gonna say about it. Because we can get into that in future podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So now that we're warmed
that's
up,
my long ramble and and me tripping over my words.
now that we're warmed up, we got our intro out of the way. I want to ask a question that I always ask everybody. Guilty pleasure movie. What is a movie that you know is technically bad, but you love anyway, and why do you love it? Jake, go.
Okay. A technically bad
Technically
movie?
horrible movie. You know, but you love it anyway. And why do you love it? What's your movie?
A technically bad movie. Okay. So I'm a huge fan of horror movies.
Okay.
I love horror movies. And one of my favorite franchises is the Friday the 13th franchise. I love it. And specifically, my favorite one, I don't even know why, it's not a good movie, it's specifically called, it's called Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. I think it was the 9th one. It is technically, like, the first time I saw it, it was really hard to sit through, because it wasn't great. But then I watched it second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, and I kept obsessing over the movie. And even though it's not technically good, it has like this weird body horror. It's got insane gore, and like I can't even really fully describe why. It's just I get obsessed with movies very easily, especially like I don't want to say bad movies, but just technically not great movies. I get obsessed with them very easily, and I just love sitting through it. I've seen it countless times.
What is it about the Friday the 13th movies that attracts you?
That attracts me is what's so great about them.
Because you also play the
video games.
I play the video game. Yes.
I mean, you have
Friday the 13th, the game. Yes.
Is that what it's? No, it's not called that though. It's called.
No.
You think of a different thing. You think of Dead by Daylight. That's
Dead by Daylight.
That's a different thing.
Right, but that's a bunch of different movie horror.
It's different. Horror.
If you saw his room, we have Freddy's arm on the wall, Jason's head on the wall, the Camp Crystal Lake council sign, like the sign you'd see going into driving into
So
it.
I guess to answer both questions, my dad's question on why I love the franchise itself and the movie, because it applies to both.
Cube.
That's true. I have Friday the 13th Rubik's Cube. What's so great about the franchise to me, and this is what I just love about a lot of horror franchises, is you can both be super casual about it and enjoy it, but if you want to like delve deep into like the lore and the backstory of everything, there's an answer to your questions. So if you just want to be super casual about it and just watch them because you like a masked person chopping up teenagers, who
doesn't?
I know, right? There's 12 of these movies.
It's relatable for everybody.
You can just watch and love them.
A little body horror.
But
People getting chopped up.
For me, who like loves digging like deep into the backstory of Friday the 13th, I have a question. One of the movies has an answer, whether it's a satisfying answer or not. It has an answer. So that's what I just love about that movie in particular, is they answer like a crap ton of questions I had. But again, is it technically great? Probably not. I couldn't really describe. I think that's the best way I could describe it is it's the perfect casual horror movie fan. Like it's the perfect horror movie for like a casual fan of just the genre. But if you love just weird body horror and gore, it's the perfect movie for me. And I've seen it like I honestly I've probably seen it like 13 times.
I'm not the biggest fan of horror, but I mean, those movies are just fun. I mean, like
They're so much fun.
I'm not like I'm not the biggest fan of that 80s horror, but I love it. Like, it's still fun nonetheless. It's not one of those, you don't have to think about it too hard. It's just watch a movie, watch a bunch of people get murdered.
Which is weird because I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I love 80s horror movies because that was the decade where I think like every horror movie was just in its groove.
Yeah,
And they understood what they wanted to do, and I love them.
And they still were using practical effects.
And they
Oh my
still
God,
use that
the
is one of my
practical
favorite
effects.
things in horror movies when they still use practical
Yeah.
effects.
Because I'm not one of those guys who goes, "Oh, CGI sucks." I can't stand when people talk about that. But I do prefer practical effects when it comes to horror films.
Absolutely. It's
Because
so much more
there
real.
is something very visceral and very primal in seeing the effect right there in front of you, knowing that perfect example of the two versions of The Thing. Rob Bottin's effects were unbelievable. They were incredible. And then when those guys Kevin Yeager and those guys came to do the Thing remake, and you go to YouTube and you look at their versions of the stuff, it looks fantastic. And the studios came in and they replaced it with CG characters, and it just looks phony.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a huge difference, and it's too bad. It's too bad that we're never going to see a cut of The Thing with Kevin Yeager and those guys, creatures in there, because if you go on YouTube and you can watch
like clips and
clips,
bits of
because
it,
they themselves have put them up
Mhm.
out of protest, I think. And it's fantastic stuff, but like, again, practical effects back then, they were just great. Like, again, like one of my favorite horror films is The Thing, and it taught me so much as growing up watching it. I must have seen it 10 times in the movie theater when it came out, 1982. I was like 16 or 17 years old, and literally every couple of days, my mom's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Off to see The Thing. See you later. Bye."
Well, that's what's so great about Friday the 13th is, especially the originals, you had masters like Tom Savini,
Yeah,
who did so many practical effects, and they look
yeah.
Oh my God.
grotesque, and
One
they
of the
look
best.
Who I stalked for like back then. I stalked him like at horror conventions.
I mean, that movie has one of the best. When the arrow goes through Kevin Bacon, that's
Yeah,
because it
one of
looks
the best.
real.
It
Yeah.
looks
That's
so real.
yeah, it's one of those things where it looks real.
yeah.
Um,
Well, the beauty about Savini is that he was obsessed not only with the makeup aspect, but he's also like a bit of a magician. Like, so
and
he would figure out how to put that arrow through the neck.
Yeah. He also studied a lot of like human physiology.
Yeah.
So that
Well, he was a photographer.
I was gonna say he's a
in
war
Vietnam.
photographer
Yeah.
in Vietnam. Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess that's the place to be if you want grotesque bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
That
right.
sounded very strange. I didn't.
I know.
I
What's
thought
your
that
movie?
would sound so much better.
What's my movie?
Yeah, bad movie that you love.
I kind of have two on the opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of big giant budgets and little tiny budgets.
Okay.
I think my big giant budget guilty pleasure is Flash Gordon.
Okay.
One, I first off, the Queen song Flash Gordon is one of the greatest theme songs ever. Just that piano, that dung 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 dung, and it's gaudy, and there's too much color in it, and it's overdone, and it's but there's just something about it that it's like it's like a weird French sci-fi comic that that no one ever reads. That it's just so it's so un-Star Wars or and I know they were trying to make the next Star Wars, but they went in a completely different direction with it, and it's campy and it's gaudy and it's fun, and I just will always watch it whenever it's on TV, and it's hands down one of my favorite logos.
That's got a
The
great
Flash
logo.
Gordon logo,
Yeah.
it's great. It's just a slam bang logo. I freaking love it. The other end of the spectrum we watched recently
Oh my God, I'm scared.
was a film called Midget Zombie Takeover.
Okay, hold up, wait. Before I'm gonna preface this by saying, so in the lead up to Charlene, I was watching so many great movies. I was trying to get any point of inspiration. I was really just like watching masterpiece. Like some of my favorite filmmakers, David Fincher, Edgar Wright, and then cinematographers like Matthew Libatique, Roger Deakins, stuff like that. I've been trying to anything to give me inspiration for this movie. And so then, in the middle of production, right? This was a 4-month process, so like 2 months in, every night we would all sit down. What movie were we watching? They would find the crappiest films. They would go out and search. There was one time we put on a movie.
Jacob and I would put on,
They would put on a movie and they stopped it. 5 minutes in, they were like, the production value is too good. We have to find something worse.
It was too good. We got to find something else.
And this movie looked crappy. It was just not crappy enough. And they looked for the worst movies they could find. So that's the preface.
Then we came across Midget Zombie Takeover. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a wonderful film. You should see it.
Please go watch it.
Please watch it. It's wonderfully incoherent. It's called Midget Zombie Takeover, but there's only one little person in it. I don't want to keep using the word midget because it is actually kind of derogatory. There is one little person in it who is a zombie, but he's not actually a little person. He literally dwarfs it. He's literally kneeling on his shoes.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's like that. It's like Dorf on Golf. It's like literally like that, and that. But he's just the one. So there's no actual takeover by the zombies. There are zombies. There's 3 or 4 zombies, and it's not even a takeover because they didn't have enough money to have any one of their friends come over to. It all takes place in one of their houses.
And the whole thing takes place in a day, but from scene to scene, it always dips to black. It always dips to black.
Even though, like, they'll go like, "Oh, let me go to the kitchen," and it dips to black. It comes back up.
Goes back
and you're like,
in the kitchen.
Did it take him 6 hours to get to the kitchen?
Oh my god, it's please
great.
watch it.
People will go from one room to the other, and they come in, they leave, and they come into the kitchen, and they'll have a different shirt on,
and it's the same day. It's like
it's great.
There's one shot where it's like a close up on a dude's feet, and he's wearing flip flops, and then the next scene he's got
he's got
on,
sneakers.
Barefoot.
Barefoot. It's like the next shot. It's almost perfect. It's almost a masterpiece.
We can't recommend this film enough.
It is wonderful. So again, it's you. I've said the title. I don't want to keep saying it because again, it is a little derogatory, and I don't want to use that word too much. But just go see it. It's worth it.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Did we wait? What about you?
No, do you have one?
Yeah. What's your guilty pleasure movie?
Mine is a little tricky because there's some movies where I can. Like, I know it's a bad movie, but I could technically give you all the reasons why I think it's great. I think probably the worst movie that I like is Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I think, it's technically bad. There's not much going on in the final battle, but it's fun. I enjoy a lot of the characters. I'm a big DC fan. The score, I don't remember the score. The soundtrack is kick-ass. It's got a good soundtrack. It's just a fun movie. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
It is a cool soundtrack, though.
I can't think of I can't think of one that's worse, because I feel like that's not bad enough.
Well, it's not as bad as Dad's movie and
no, it's not as bad as Midget Zombie Takeover. Which was, oh my god, a masterpiece.
I can't even say it's bad. I loved watching it. Like, I can't.
We did watch it literally with our mouths wide open. It just staring.
So you know what? Yeah, I guess congrats to them.
Yeah,
they had us.
They had us
sold.
And
we watched it till the end.
Jake was almost late for work because he had to.
I was almost late for work because I didn't want to move away.
Leave
from
the
the
takeover.
film. Yeah.
Oh my god. Another bad one. I mean, he's basically the king of bad movies at this point, but Neil Breen.
Oh, Neil Breen.
His work is amazing. Absolutely.
What's the one we really
masterful?
What's the one we wanted to
Faithful
buy?
Findings.
Faithful Findings.
Neil Breen's Faithful Findings is a masterpiece.
I'm sure you know about. If you don't know about it, please go watch it. Just look at clips on YouTube. It's
don't actually watch it.
Not on YouTube.
No, you'd have to buy it.
But there's like a 35 or 40-minute clip, which is like basically the cliff notes of the entire film.
So It's the craziest movie because it's the only movie where the more I've found out about it, the less sense it made.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more information revealed,
Like, we
the
watched-
less sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched a 10-minute compilation, and I was like, okay, this is bad, but I kind of get what's going on here. Then we watched like a 25-minute compilation. That was like, what the fuck? Like, it just got crazier.
Yeah.
And then we watched a 40-minute compilation, and now I'm gonna order the movie because I just need to see the
Yeah,
whole
we have
thing.
to actually watch it.
And he signs every copy too.
Does he?
So
Oh,
every
awesome.
copy you buy, he signs.
Dude, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
A signed copy
Signed
by
copy of Neil Breen.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Faithful
man
Findings.
himself.
That's
We gotta
so
get
cool.
it. I want to see it.
We should try to interview Neil.
Get Neil Breen on the
Yes.
show.
Neil
Yes.
Breen, man.
I would love to get Neil Breen.
Oh my
on the
God.
show.
We'll contact him. It'll be
Yeah.
amazing.
I would never get a word in. I would just stare at him in awe.
Yeah. If you think we should get Neil Breen on the show,
Contact-
call right now.
Call right in. 1-555-55-555.
Yes.
You think you can remember that?
Remember 6 and then 1 and then 1 minus 6 is 5. That's how you
So
remember.
there you go. Just type that in.
And then type that 7 times.
Eight-
You know, some guy with that number is actually going to be getting called.
Oh,
He's
Poor
gonna get a call
dude.
about Neil Breen. 1-555-555-555.
It'll be like an old Russian lady.
Yeah. Oh my God! Could you imagine if it's actually
Who the
Neil
hell is
Breen?
Neil Breen? What?
Neil Breen's number is
Neil Breen-
555.
That would be amazing.
And that's how we get him.
That's how we get him.
That's perfect. All right, that's the game plan. Get Neil. That's our end game. Get Neil
Is
Breen
that
on
get
the
Neil
podcast.
Breen on our show?
Get us Neil Breen. Get me Neil Breen.
Get me Neil Breen.
Get
Neil
Breen.
Breen.
Right now.
Neil
Neil Breen
Breen.
on the phone. Get him. Oh my God! All right,
That's amazing.
that's my mission in life. I'm gonna blow up his phone.
Yep.
We'll post it up on Twitter. Get it
Where does he
everybody.
live?
From the movie, it looks like L.A. or maybe.
Dude,
He
LA's
lives
not
in-
good enough for
it
him.
looks like
I bet he
lives
lives in just
Midwest
a
or something.
Yeah.
just a bubble in the sky.
Yeah.
Where everyone can appreciate him.
Maybe
Yeah.
New Mexico, because I feel like
Maybe?
that's where they.
That's
make
true.
movies.
Yeah, there was
They
like a
make
lot of
movies.
scenes that looked like it was in like a
Yeah.
desert.
I honestly don't know.
I picture him living in the back of a U-Haul truck.
And he traveling the country.
But like
Traveling
his
the country
desk
making
and everything
movies.
is like just bolted down on the
Yeah.
on the base of it.
And when you order his movie, he brings it to you.
Yeah, in the U-Haul
He
truck.
does in the U-Haul truck. He
Like,
doesn't
knock on
actually
the
ship
door.
it out.
Neil Breen.
Neil Breen.
That's how we can get him. We ordered the DVD and just
I
ask
can't
him while he's
believe
there.
you ordered this
I can't
movie.
believe
I
it.
cannot believe it.
He reminds me. He looks a lot like Gary Shandling.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's I'm trying to find the
He's
list
like
of
Gary
French words.
Chandler's movie directing brother.
And
if he
true.
was supposed to go to film school, but like he just ditched every single class.
Yeah. No, he took like the first class and then
Yeah.
he bought the textbooks and
Right.
then
Yeah. And he
stood
took the,
on
yeah,
them
he
while
took the
he was
very
filming.
first class, so he knows how to slate. But that's it.
yeah. No. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Neil Breen.
It is, I mean, it is. And God bless him. He's making movies, man.
Absolutely. I mean, he's made 6
I'm not
features.
gonna make fun of the fact that he made movies.
No,
I
it's
will not
absolutely-
do that
no.
because it is a tough thing to make movies.
No, you have to commend him for that.
Yeah. That he will not get a ribbing from me for that.
I do that. You know what? Okay,
Yeah.
that's my movie. I genuinely love those movies.
Yeah. Oh, those are
Genuinely
the
enjoy
Neil
them.
Breens?
That's my
yeah.
Neil Breen movies. I'm looking and seeing if he's on social media.
Oh, cool.
I don't even know. It says Neil Breen official, but I don't know. There's like 5 Neil Breen officials.
Are there?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Who's impersonating Neil Breen?
Neil Breen fan club.
There's a Neil
Like,
Breen fan club.
All right, I can
Oh my God.
picture Neil Breen fan club.
Oh my God, that's
But
amazing.
who's impersonating Neil Breen?
I want to join the
Whose
Neil Breen fan club.
Whose film career has fallen that far that he's got to impersonate Neil Breen?
Oh my God, this guy film the Neil Breen fan club wrote. I want a film set 20 years after The Force Awakens with Grandmaster Ben Solo played by Neil Breen.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Dude.
That would be perfect.
Dude, I would go broke
Can we?
buying that.
I
like,
want to
buying
get
tickets
Neil
to that
Breen
movie.
to direct the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
That would be.
That's my goal in
phenomenal.
life.
because he's awesome with special effects too.
Oh my God, his special effects are amazing.
Yeah,
They're fucking flawless.
They rival the Marvel films.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. this guy posted. I'm just stalking the Neil Breen fan club page right
No, I'm
now.
like, supposed to be doing a podcast. He's sitting there, like stalking him.
He posted the Neil Breen cinematic universe.
Oh my God. Let's get it.
Are they all connected? Are all those
I
films
don't know if
connected?
Let's make it
connected?
official. Let's make it official.
He's
Even
gotta
if they're
make-
not, call him up.
He's
got to
make a 5th movie that connects them all.
Oh God.
Oh, that would be excellent.
amazing.
That's
the
incredible.
Neil Breen cinematic universe.
Now we
Oh
have to
my
make a
God.
film that connects Charlene and Father and
and all
yes.
of Neil
and
Breen's
all
movies.
the films we make.
Yes. And they won't
make a
nearly
Tazed
be
Logic
as good
universe.
as the Neil
No.
Breen. Oh my God, him as Thanos and the Infinity Stones are laptops.
Oh,
That
that's
is-
great.
that is-
Okay,
Brilliant.
if you watch Fateful Findings, he has a thing for just absolutely destroying
Yeah.
any laptop within reach.
Yeah, almost I would say every third scene he punches out a laptop.
Yeah,
And
it's-
I'm not joking.
that's
I
not a
wish
joke
I
at
was
all.
making fun of this, but I'm not.
Yeah.
He actually does that.
There's 2 Neil Breen fan pages.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
You know
Oh.
what? I gotta say that's 2 more fan pages than I have.
Yeah.
So
Good
Again.
for him.
good. God bless him. God bless you, my friend.
There's
bless you.
sorry, there's 2. Not only is there like 5 or 6 Neil Breen fan pages here. There's 2 Neil Breen fan page 69s.
What?
Yeah. That seems really specific
Yeah.
to have 2 with 69. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
So I
The
feel like
Neil
we really
Breen's-
lost.
No, we found our mission. This
Yeah.
is our
Yeah,
mission statement.
yeah.
We got to get Neil
we
Breen
have
on
to
the
try to get Neil
podcast.
Breen on the show.
Neil Breen as a pirate.
No, but why is that just the greatest thing ever?
Wow.
Love it.
It's literally just a cut out of his face.
Yeah, literally
Stuck
just
onto what's his name?
yeah.
onto Jack
Down
Sparrow.
to Jack Sparrow.
I'm gonna screenshot this, and when we post the podcast, we'll post a notification on Instagram, and I'll put all of these photos here, and I'll tag all these fan accounts too.
Cool.
Love it.
Greatest
Oh
thing
my
in the
God,
world.
this is amazing.
All right. Well, I mean, what else do we have to talk about?
Yeah, what
for
else-
This,
yeah.
This is our first one. I don't want to bore people. I want to
I
make
don't
sure
know.
that people come back, and I want to make sure they have a good time.
Well, I mean, now they're coming back because I mean we
of
got to
for
update
Neil Breen. Yeah, I
the
know.
Neil Breen fan
Cinematic
club.
universe.
Yeah, but-
I'm gonna contact the Neil Breen fan club and see if they have any way of contacting him.
of contacting Neil himself.
First of
him.
all,
Alright.
I'm a little disappointed we weren't contacted to be a part of the fan club.
yeah,
like,
no,
but-
me too.
You know,
It's a little insulting.
yeah.
Mm.
Water under the bridge. No,
Yeah.
no big deal. So is there anything else we wanted to talk about?
I don't know. This is
I think for now we're good, man. I mean, again, always leave them wanting more.
yeah. I mean, we'll be talking about more, and I think. Sorry, I'm on his
Yes,
website
you
right now.
just
I'm
zoned out.
I'm trying-
Check him out, like staring at you, like, yeah, you think what?
Oh my God! Wait,
What?
his contact information is on the website.
No
Okay.
way! No
All right,
way!
all right.
Okay,
Well,
oh my
we're gonna
gosh.
go because we're gonna contact Neil Breen.
We're gonna end the podcast here. Thank you for tuning in. Next week we'll have Neil Breen.